Shout out to my girl, Coach Ella, for my hoodie. So what? It's a so what movement. So what we've been through life trauma. Look at us now. So what things happen to us. Look at us now. So what life beat us up. Look at us now. So what? It's her merchandise line, Coach Ella. Ella. Coach Ella Destiny. Thank you so much for my merchandise. So what? So listen, y'all. Hey, happy Tuesday. It is another episode of Trauma to Triumph Tuesdays featuring an amazing woman, Chanel Diggs. I'm going to introduce her and pull her into the live feed in just a minute. Just want to say hello. Thank you all for joining. I'm Terry Long. I'm the host of Trauma to Triumph, an amazing project where we are healing millions of people of all ethnicities, all ages, male and females alike, through the sharing of our stories of life trauma. We have gone through life trauma and we talk about it together. We heal each other together and we go through the journey. And then we talk about how we're living triumphantly now. Triumphantly does not mean that we're living wealthy or famously or any of that. Triumphant means I made it through and I'm still here to talk about it. That's really what living triumphantly means. You have gone through life trauma, and I'm still here. I'm a survivor. I'm not going to give up. Yes, that's what it means, y'all. So I decided that I would create a platform for us to share our life trauma stories and share them with one another. And you all, there have been so many people reaching out to me since I've been doing this. I've been doing this for almost a year now. Almost a year. And so many people have reached out to me to share how someone's story touched them, how someone's story really made them feel brave enough to finally speak out about what happened to them. So that's God's way of telling me I have to keep going. What's up, Captain Warren? Welcome to another episode of Trauma to Triumph. So again, this platform is for us. We're going to be doing documentary filming inside of a studio. If you're wondering what your donations have gone to so far, we've done some filming inside of a studio. Your donations will go to more filming that we need to get done for the documentary. It will go towards editing. It will go towards branding and marketing for this amazing project because we're in this together. And we're going to make it happen one way or another. We're going to make this project come true. And we are going to see Trauma to Triumph on all of your TVs and all households. I'm claiming it right now. So just so you know, when I say we're in this together, what I mean by that, we're in this together. And I'm taking all of y'all with me. So when we put this project on the desk of Oprah Winfrey and OWN, and she says yes, we all in it together. And I mean that. So let's get started with tonight's episode of Trauma to Triumph featuring Chanel Diggs. If you all are interested in donating, you can do so via, the information is here, via Cash App or PayPal. I appreciate it. I've had some really young people who don't even have jobs donate to this project, like $5 Cash App here and there. And it just makes my heart smile. It means so much to me. Your prayers mean everything to me. I need help in other ways. I need help with, people who know how to do stuff. Like if you know how to do some editing, if you know how to do some filming, if you know how to package things up and make scissor reels, all of these types of things this project is going to need. So it's not just your finances. I need your prayers. I need your expertise. Listen, send some help this way. A helping hands is always needed and appreciated. Chanel, let's see. I'm going to give this a try so y'all can meet this amazing. There she is. I think I did it right. Chanel, you should have gotten an invite from me for you to join my live. And if I did not do it correctly, I will try it again. So let me know. I think I did it. I see something happening. Hey,
Hi.
I'm doing well.
How are
How are you
you?
doing? I gotta turn
I can't
my,
complain.
you can hear me okay?
I
Yep,
can
it
hear
was
you
me.
okay.
I
Can you
had
hear
my
me
volume
fine?
all the way down. I can hear you perfectly now. Let me just straighten my little thing here. It
Okay.
looks like. So hello, beautiful. You look amazing. You look
How are you? Thank
You
you.
are
Thank
welcome
you
so
so
much.
much.
And thank you for your yes. Thank you for being willing to be brave enough to come and share your life trauma story and, for your transparency and your willingness to help others. That's what this is all about. We're all in this together and we've all had not all of us, but many of us have had our fair share of life trauma, me included. On two of these episodes, I've talked about myself. I used two different traumatic
Mm,
episodes in my life. So there are two episodes on my YouTube channel right now, the Trauma2Triumph YouTube channel, that is about me, you know. So I've been going through this journey for myself.
absolutely.
And so I appreciate your willingness to do that. And before we get started, I want to just open with a short prayer and then we will get started and I'll let you introduce yourself formally and we're going to go down, take a trip down memory lane. So all right.
Absolutely.
God, please bless this platform. Let us say or do a thing that will help someone out there, Lord. Let us share our stories together and be transparent and have you walk with us through this journey, Lord, and talk about how we can always come out triumphantly. These and all other blessings I ask in
Absolutely.
Jesus' name. Amen. So, hey, girl.
Amen. Hey
I'm
girl,
doing well. I
how are
introduced
you?
you, just briefly, just letting them know that you're an amazing person, that you're a beautiful woman and brave. But I want you to take an opportunity to just say who you are, who you are now in life, where you are now in life, and then we'll take it down memory lane and we'll go back as far as you want to and talk about your life trauma and how you transitioned from that to the amazing, beautiful woman that we see right now on this live.
All right. So, first of all, thank you for having me. I really appreciate this opportunity to share my story. And I
Well,
hope it helps someone. If it helps one,
I was going to say, if it's
it's
just
enough for
one
me.
person, then that's right.
It's enough for me. Yeah. So, my name is Chanel Diggs. I'm a native Washingtonian. I've lived in DC all my life. And I have I have three children, and a husband. My family is tight knit. We have a lot of family, like a lot of family. But my son is 25. My daughter,
Wow.
she is 23. 24, 24, 24. And my son, TJ, he's 13. He's at basketball
Wow.
practice right
Some
now with my
almost a
husband.
little bit similar to me. Mine are 28, 27, and 15. The two oldest ones are girls. To
Wow.
my two grown adults are girls, are my girls, and then I have a 15-year-old boy.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a 13-year-old boy, and my daughter is 24 and my
So
son is
someone can't
25.
hear me. One queen, one Yaya. You can't hear me, or you can't hear
You
Chanel. Can everyone else
can you
hear
not hear
us?
me?
No, I can hear you,
I can turn
Chanel.
it up.
So you and I are
Okay.
hearing each other. I just see someone's comment saying she couldn't hear, and I'm wondering if maybe that's on her end because no one else, I haven't gotten anyone
Yeah.
else who said they could not hear. So let's just keep going. Okay, cool,
They say they can
cool.
hear. They say they can hear. I can see. So yeah, that's a bit about me. I'm a hard worker. I've been working all my life, probably since I was about 15. I've been working. But where I am now is I'm just living life purposely right now. And it feels good. It's a scary place. And that's where I am right now. Is a very scary place, but it is I've I've never felt so
Yeah.
free in my life.
I love
I've
it.
never felt
I
so
love
free.
it. So then we
Yeah.
got to bring it full
Yeah,
circle and let's talk about, your journey to being
absolutely.
so free and feeling the way you feel today. This hasn't always been your life.
Oh no, hasn't always been my life, right? So, I was born 1982. I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm
Girl,
41. I just turned
you
41 last
still
month,
young
right?
and popping.
Oh, I don't know about that. But back in 1982, my mom, she was 15 years old, and she became pregnant by a neighborhood guy,
Hmm.
neighborhood love or whatever, in Washington D.C. So we all know what 1982
Oh,
probably
yes.
looked like back then, right? Yeah. So when she became pregnant, she was scared or whatever, and she didn't know what to do, but she decided to bring me into this world, right? So when she brought me in, um, my dad was young. He was 17. He was 17 at his prime, living his life. He's like, that ain't my baby.
Mm.
That ain't my baby. So my mom's like, what do you mean? You're the only one I ever, you were
Right.
the first, you're the only one. What are you talking about, right? So they didn't believe until I was born, and I
And
actually
his
looked
fam.
like everybody in the family, even more, and
Hmm.
right, even more than he did, right? So the whole family, they embraced me. I have a lovely family on the other side, and I have a great family altogether. My family is huge. It's probably thousands of us
Wow.
around in the DC area, right? So that was that. For a teenage mother to raise a young child. And then she had my sister, so she wasn't able to finish high school. But she was a good mother, right? She's a good mother. Crazy, but she's a good mother. But she raised me on her own. My dad, he was around, especially when I was younger. But the 80s and the 90s got to him. Drug addiction came into play. However, my mother did not allow me in that space. She only allowed me to go with my aunt Lazina and some of my aunts on the other side. It wasn't a lot of, well, I went with my dad, but
Right.
I would be with my aunts. Um, so my mother made sure that I wasn't know what was going on, but I knew that my dad wasn't as involved as he probably
Right.
should have been in a young girl's life. So that was that. It wasn't like the worst. It wasn't the worst life being in a single parent household. My mother, I ate every day. I was clothed. I went to school. I couldn't say, oh Lord, my life was just. They should have just
Right.
stopped. They should have never did it. Right. It was a purpose for me being here. But come full circle, and the cycle continued.
Mm.
At 15, I became pregnant. So it was like, okay, what do you mean I'm pregnant? Like, what? I'm pregnant.
15.
I'm pregnant. Wow. 15, got pregnant by a neighborhood
A
guy,
cycle.
same as my mother. It's like the
Hmm.
cycle. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. And it's like, so I said, okay, I'm pregnant. During this time, I thought, I'm like, Mom, what should I do? Because when I got pregnant, a cyst had burst on my ovary. And that's how I figured out that I was pregnant. I literally was bleeding
Mm.
in the inside. So I go to the emergency room. They say, I'm thinking that they're going to say, like, I have an ulcer or something like that. They were like, oh, no, you're pregnant. I was like, pregnant? What? Oh, and by the way, you're pregnant, but there's blood all in your stomach, and you need to make a decision right now. Like, not give me a couple weeks to make a decision. You need to make a decision right now whether or not you're going to
And
keep
you
this baby or not.
15.
At 15. And I looked at my mother and I'm like, Mom, what? She just walked out the room and was like, it's your decision to make. And I made the decision to keep my son. Somehow God was right there with me. He was right there with me. And they said that the blood had cleared up in my stomach. They were like, you will have. I don't know how it happened. It was
That's
God.
how it
It was God's
happened.
plan.
Because
But
nothing else makes
yeah, that's
sense.
how it was just God. It, it doesn't. It didn't make sense then. It makes sense now, but it didn't make sense then. And again, I'm alone because the guy that I had a baby with, he's like in and out of prison or jail, not really
Right.
prison at the time. He was doing dumb stuff that young teenage boys do. And he was very abusive. He was very abusive. So at 15, not only am I pregnant, but I'm going through domestic violence, busting out my windows in my house. Like, he was crazy. Like, the guy was cray, right? So I went through that, and then the final straw was, I thought like, oh, maybe I got to keep, I had the baby or whatever. I had the baby. I'm thinking maybe I got to still stick in this. I bought myself a car with my first income tax check. Remind you, I'm about 16 or 17 at this point. I buy my first car. It's a big Oldsmobile Regency. Like, I'm 5 feet. I've been 5 feet since the 5th grade, right? And I'm driving this big, long 1981 Oldsmobile Regency. That should have told everybody I was crazy then, right? So I'm driving this car, and my friend said, let's go to the bowling alley. My car's so big, I had everybody in the car. We go to the bowling alley. I'm driving, not really knowing how to drive properly, but I'm driving. And get to the bowling alley. The guy's doing whatever he's doing, and he gets mad. And he goes to my car while I'm inside the bowling alley and pours Remy in my brake fluid. And so when I'm trying to stop the brakes, when I'm trying to pull out the parking lot, I'm like, the brakes won't stop. The brakes won't stop. And luckily, my friend's aunt was there. Aunt Phyllis, I love that lady. She was there, and she was able, because I didn't know how to drive, she was able to drive the car back. That morning, the next morning I got up, I said, oh, no more. Never again. I never saw the guy since. I mean, I've seen him over time, but I never dealt with him since that day. I didn't tell my son anything bad about him. I never once said he was a bad person. I didn't go that route because I wanted my son to be able to live a life without the shadows of what someone else's life was like. So my son and I'm working 2 jobs at this time. I'm working 2 jobs. I'm working at a bank. I'm working at a grocery store, same time. And I'm like, I'm not going to get on welfare, but I said I'm not going to quit school. I graduated high school, and I was working. And my son was going to my mother's house. I would be going in between, taking him to my mother's house and getting on a bus, catching 3 or 4 buses to work and take him to school. It was a lot. So at a young age, I didn't have the opportunity to like have a regular teenage life. My friends have, regular teenage life. They would stop saying, can you go anywhere? Because I'm always working or taking care of my son. But to fast forward, son is growing up.
Real quick, Chanel, did you finish? So you did finish high school? Okay.
I finished high school. I finished Dunbar Senior High School in 2000.
Okay.
Class of 2000, I graduated. And I was determined because my mother said, if you drop out, you got to get out of here. So I was like, well, I can't drop out because I'm going to be homeless. So she made sure, because she knew that she wasn't able to finish school, that the only thing she could possibly give me is the reassurance that I needed to finish school. And I liked school. I wasn't able to go to college because I had my son. I didn't have the money. I had to work and take care of him. So I get to a point where getting older, he's going to school, and he's acting up. My son's acting up. He's doing all kind of stuff. I'm like, Lord, I don't know what to do with this boy. I'm like, either he's gonna be a kingpin or a doctor. I don't know. And this is a boy at 9 years old, so I'm dealing with that. And it was very hard to deal with him and try and go to work. But my mother helped me, my sister helped me, my family helped me out with him. And I went on, he went on to elementary, went on to high school. But in high school, he really was acting up. He went to Seed. I'm not sure if you know what Seed is, but it's like a boarding school for young people that's in D.C.,
Okay.
in Washington, D.C. And that school was so structured. He was like, I can't do this. So every week, I'm going up to the school to try to figure out what's going on with him. Well, finally, he was like, I just can't do this. I was like, what? We gonna do something. So I called Duke Ellington School of the Arts because my son, he can dance like nobody's business. Like, he's really talented. Always got straight A's in school and stuff like that. So, but he was bad, real bad. And so I said, okay, well, let's go and find out. I wrote a letter to Duke Ellington School of the Arts. I think it was his 10th grade year or 10th grade year. And they were like, well, we don't accept people that, you know, already have behavior issues, and he has behavioral issues, and we just can't accept him. But what do you got? So I took my son up there. I barged myself in that door and was like, listen, y'all gonna have a meeting with my son, because I have to save my son. Like, if I don't do this, he's not going to go to school. So I took him there. They accepted him.
Right.
And they accepted him, and he graduated with like a 3.5 GPA from Duke Ellington School of the Arts. But it was hard. I mean, it was hard. It was hard just trying to be there for him, because I know I missed out on so much of his life. And the reason why he probably was acting out is because I had to work, because I was determined to break the cycle of me being on public assistance, me being on welfare, me having a house subsidized. And there's nothing wrong with it, right? Because it helps a lot of people, but it also our community as well, because we can't get out of the cycle. So I stifles the community. It is a helping hand, but a hand that's,
it's a gift and a curse.
So I was determined. It's a gift and a curse. And I'm like, I have to sacrifice my teenage years, my young 20s, all of my 30s. I sacrificed it all. I laid it all on the line for my son. Like, whatever it took, it was happening. Whatever it took to take care of my son. And so I worked my way through, I quit one of the jobs, and I was working one job, but I climbed the corporate ladder. And when I climbed the corporate ladder, everybody's like, oh, it's, you know, that's a great job. I would never leave that job. That job is amazing. And I'm like, I have no time for my family. I work 10, 12 hours a day. I deal with everybody else's problems. I'm suffering. I'm gaining weight. I'm stressed out daily. But I'm like, I'm still in it. I'm like, I got to do it until I can't do it anymore. Fake it until you make it, right? Fake it until you make it. And then one day my husband was at a point, he was like, listen, you got to figure out what you're going to do, because you're not even engaged with us. You're not engaged with us at all. And I said, you know what? I decided to leave a job that was paying me 6 figures a year. Everybody was like, you freaking crazy. At the height of my career, I left.
No, it's crazy. It's not crazy,
right?
Because I did the same thing in April. We'll talk about that later. So it's scary.
It's scary. It's scary. But back to my son, he was saying when he was in high school, I'm never going to college, when he was in Seed. But when he got to Duke Ellington, his mind expanded. He's like, well, maybe college might seem like, okay, maybe we should do it. So he went to Lincoln University. He graduated, high GPA still, 3.5, 3.7 GPA. He graduated there. So he was like, I don't think I'm done. I was like, you don't? He's like, nah, I'm going to get my master's. Well, go ahead and get your master's then, son. Well, go ahead and get your master's. He got his master's. And this summer we had a party for him. And he said his friend had passed away, that was going to be a medical doctor. And he announced at his party that he's going to do it for his friend. He's going to go and get his doctorate. They will call him Dr. Kyler. Boy, that shook the room.
Oh, this is the baby you had at 15.
The 15-year-old, 15, he was in there. It was a reason for him. And he's an alpha. He don't like me to say that, right? But his name, they have names or whatever, is God's plan. But that's true.
God's
he was
plan.
God's plan.
Chanel.
He was God's plan all along. So all the sacrifice, all the nights standing, doing turnarounds, never getting any rest, never getting any sleep, making sure he was okay. It was like, I don't care. I would do it again. It's no question that I would.
The enemy wanted you to fail. The enemy wanted the generational, I don't like to say curses anymore, generational situation to just continue, right? That's what the enemy wants. The enemy doesn't like to see what has happened and how you were able to endure at 15 years old, and you really do have a story to say now. But look at us now. Look at him now.
Look at us now. Look at him now. And people said, they looked at me funny. I get the looks like, she's 15, she's fast, she got a baby. You maybe not want your children to hang around me thinking that, but I was total opposite of fast. It just happened, right? Life happens. People, I can't even call it a mistake because it wasn't a mistake for me. I might have had to take a longer journey or a different path than most 15-year-old girls, but at this point in my life, I wouldn't trade it for the world. And so I left this job, right? Get to that. I left this job, and everybody's like, you're crazy for leaving this job. And I went to another company. But this other company, it was something different. I was able to open up these stores and do all these grand things, right? It was fun. But then when I got into a store and I had to stay in it, I was like, oh no, this is not for me. I was like, what? I'll tell you, nobody knows this, but my husband and my kids. I had to go when I left one company. I had 150 employees that work for me personally. When I go to this other company, I'm working there and I might have like 20 people, whatever, but you have to physically do the work yourself. They gave me a mop and a broom and told me to go and clean the toilets. I'm still making 6 figures.
Okay, well, what?
I'm in the bathroom crying. This cannot be my life. This cannot be. Lord, what do you want me to see in this? What is it that you want me to see? And he said, humble yourself. Checkmate. I said, okay. By the end of it, I was cleaning those toilets with no problems because at the same time, I didn't have to change. He didn't change my lifestyle. He didn't give me less money. He didn't give me bad health. All my kids are safe. So you got to clean the toilet. So did your grandmother. So did your mother. Why can't you do it? So you need to humble yourself before I give you your next level. I heard it. I tell my husband, he laughs at me. He thinks I'm crazy. He be like, did the Holy Ghost talk to you today? I say, listen.
That's right.
I hear him. And I have to listen. But fast forward it all the way back to when I was 17 working. I got a message from God. I was in my car. It's a graveyard shift. I'm taking a break, eating a sandwich in my car. I heard God say, you're going to have to help some other people. And I'm in a car literally saying, who are you talking to? Who's talking to me? And I was like, help some people. I can't even help myself. I barely got money for a sandwich. Today, this job, they fire me. I still can't tell you how I got fired, but I'm glad I did. I get fired from this job, and that's why I say in the beginning, it's a scary place where I am right now, but it's the most amazing space I have ever been in my life. I'm no longer in survival mode. I have been working out of survival mode my entire life. I'm not making 6 figures now, right? But God got me in a space of glory that I've never been in my entire life. I'm free. There's nothing holding me back. Nothing, no situation has changed. Life isn't perfect. But now I'm able to host community events. We do a breast cancer walk. We do Martin Luther King Day. I'm doing vision boards for different people. I opened up my own nonprofit organization called Coco Circle. Changed a cycle into a circle.
Chanel.
This is my story. Like, I am excited about life. I'm excited about what God is doing. There's cry about a job or six figures. I don't care about that. God got more figures for me. He got more people that I need to touch. He has a world that I need to just embrace.
Yes.
So many possibilities.
You know, when I do these, not every time is it something that actually touches me personally, but when it does, like what's going on now, you know, like I have to hold back the tears because, man, you're inspiring me. Like now I feel like I'm the one. I'm serious because, you know, like, you know what it's like to walk away from a 6-figure job, right? And so you know how scary that can be, right? And so for to hear you say it the way you just said it, and as liberated as you are right now, it gives me a little bit more pep in my step. So I want to thank you for that. Like I wasn't anticipating being the one getting the therapy tonight, right? But you said if you could just help one person.
One.
Yeah.
Just one.
Yep.
I love you.
Yep.
Just one. Fear, and I tell my baby, he's 13 and he plays basketball. He's real good, right? He's good, right? But sometimes he gets a little nervousness. And I tell him, I go, like, one game he had, it was a big game. And I said, my husband usually gives him this pep talk all the time. But I ran over to him and I said, you nervous? He said, yes, a little bit. I said, let me tell you what to do with that. I said, push that fear to the bottom of your feet and let it propel you to your destiny. He showed off. I said, go, boy. You can't let fear overtake you. Fear nothing. I fear nothing. There's nothing in this world that I'm afraid of. And I used to have fear. Fear of, am I going to be able to pay my bills? Fear if I'm going to be able to hold my marriage together. Fear if I'm going to be able to take care of my children. Fear of everything. What do I got to fear? Everything that could have been attacked in my life has been attacked. You name it, I can tell you it's been attacked. I don't have that much time to tell you about it all. But I tell you, guess what? Ain't nothing shaking me. Nothing.
When I tell you God be knowing what he doing, let me tell you something. Because when I'm telling you, I'm telling you, this is what I need, what I personally needed today. God be knowing. Wow. And I thank him. Father, I thank you always.
I thank you, Lord.
Oh, man. So, listen. You are such an inspiration to me, and I'm sure to so many others, you know, to know that, you know, you were a product of your environment, right? But you decided, God put something in you to make you say, you know what? Enough is enough of this. I'm going to turn this around. If it's the last damn thing I do, I'm going to work 2, 3 jobs. I'm going to do whatever it takes. And yes, you went through, like you said, you know, your son went through it through school, took you through it. Right? But look at him. God had his hand in it the whole time.
He's amazing. And that's what I said. And my husband and I, we had a whole discussion last night about faith, and it was just a lot, right? But it was needed. It was good. It was good content to it. But I said to him, I said, you know, sometimes you don't even know what it is God is doing. It don't make any sense. Like it's like missing pieces and puzzles, and you trying to put it together, but you can't. You just gotta go with the flow. I tell God, I wake up every morning, I say, God, guide my feet. Lord, please just guide my feet, because I don't know where I'm going. I used to know every day by 9 a.m. I have to be at work, or by 6 a.m. I have to be at work. By 2 p.m. I don't know what the day be holding some days. I just walk out. I don't know the weather because I don't watch the news. I don't watch TV. So when I get outside, whatever I touch, if it's cold, okay, God, you're telling me to get a coat, because I'm allowing him for the first time in my life to just completely guide me.
Yep. To order all of your steps.
Order all of my steps. And I ask him to cover my family, because I'm only a steward of them. I'm only a steward of my home. I'm only a steward of the things that I have. But I just have to walk with him. I want to be a disciple.
You are.
I think I am a disciple of
you. You are a disciple.
Yes.
We are disciples, and we're gonna make more of us.
We are disciples.
That's what we're going to do.
That's all we can do. And we don't have to make everybody a Christian. Everybody's not going to do it. But if they get a little bit of the light, a little bit, I'll dance, I have fun. I'm no sanctified.
No, we have balance.
Like, we're holier than thou.
Yes, you have balance.
We have balance.
Yes.
Right. My husband told me that last night. You got to have
My
balance.
husband teaches me that all the time. You know, we are here.
Yes.
We are humans in an earthly realm. So we do have to live amongst earthly people, and you know what I mean? So we have balance, right? I bust down. I love God.
Me too. But I love God. I be busting down for God too, like Jesus.
Right.
Hold on.
It's about balance, right? And it's about keeping him first. You know, and like you said, you ask him every day to just lead your steps, to take charge. And I'm going to start adding that to my, my morning prayer. I always say, like, Lord, order my steps, my words, my thoughts, everything. Just lead the whole way. And like you said, stepping out there on faith is can be scary. But I'm learning from people like you and my husband that fear has to be gone, death to fear, because that is the one thing that the enemy uses to keep us stifled. And I've had to learn that. And the more I grow in the word, I learn to let that fear go. Let it go. I'm a work in progress, but there's people.
My husband. We're all whips.
Yeah.
We all whips. That, like, I tell my husband sometimes, I watched him so long, and just the way he moves, he's always like fearless, and he just does things, and you're like, how did he do that, right? And he left his corporate job a few years ago, and he opened up his own gym. And I was like, are we doing this? And at that time, I'm still in a corporate mindset. And he was like, I'm doing it. And as I watched him for about 2 years or 3 years, I was like, there's no need for me to fear. What God took care of him. He must take care of me too.
Right there. So listen, don't be surprised if I'm on your line saying, hey, Chanel, I need another pep talk, girl.
I'm here for it. Listen, I talk to everybody. I'll talk to everybody. But I also have my people that I have to go to, my secret places of people that my confidants of people. My tribe is
they God sent, aren't they? I have a tribe. It's not until I've been older that I have really found the appreciation for the right tribe, not just any tribe. Because through the years, God has had to shed people. And but as we grow older and we grow closer with him, he will surround us with the right tribe.
The right tribe is what you need. because I can't burden my husband. He's busy man. I can't burden him all
No,
the time with
right.
my shenanigans or everything. And I have different people that I go to
And that's
for different
important.
things. And
Um,
then
I was telling
yes.
my husband the other day that I don't think that he uses, I don't think men in general use that same methodology like we do. But
Mm-hmm.
that's not always good, because that means that you're only just hearing you. You're only hearing your voice. You're only hearing yourself all the time. You're never ever hearing someone else to tell you that maybe your thinking might be a little bit wrong. Um,
That's so funny you say that.
yeah,
Yes, you're
you
absolutely
get what
right.
I'm
You're
saying?
absolutely right.
Um,
You're
so it's
absolutely
important.
right.
Our tribe is
Yeah,
important. The
yeah.
right
I'm
tribe, though.
the right tribe. The right tribe. I have a I finally went back to school. So I attend UDC now. And all the kids are younger than my son. I be like, little shorty, come here and help me with this
Right,
work.
help me with this.
Right, but I'm in this communications class, and I have a 2-week assignment of just listening.
Ooh,
Just listening. What do you hear when your feet hits the ground in the morning? Do you hear the birds? Are you going for a devotional? Do you hear your spouse snoring? What is it that you have to use your listening skills? Because my husband always tells me, Chanel, you don't listen. You are hard headed. He right? He's so right. But me practicing that, just being able to listen to others and not keep cycling the things in my head and regurgitating the same things that only things that I know is what I'm accustomed to, my way of life, my upbringing. But there's so many
mm-hmm.
ways to see the world. And if you only cycle yourself,
Right.
you won't grow.
You won't. You will not. You've got to
You
hear some
won't
other
grow.
stuff.
Nope. You got to hear some other stuff. And sometimes some of the stuff may be something you don't need to hear. But sometimes you have to hear what
Right.
people don't say as
That
well.
part. You have to hear what people don't say. Mm-hmm.
Don't
That's
say.
another layer of communication. What they don't say.
Mm-hmm. What they don't
Mm-hmm.
say. It's right there in what they do say.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a word. Do say like
It's a cognac, do say. I do know that.
it's a yeah. I was like, hold on, am I going the wrong way with this?
Listen, honey, I just want to thank you again, Chanel, for taking us on your exciting, triumphant journey. Definitely, you have helped me put some things in perspective for my own life, and as I continue on my journey now. And no, I didn't start having children at 15, but there's so many young women who I'm sure could benefit from hearing this story. And I can't wait to share it with more people that I know of personally that I want to share tonight's episode with. So thank you so much for
Thank
transparency,
you.
for your infectious energy that has just like sprinkled through. It's just
Thank
like,
you.
you know what I mean? It's just infectious, honey. And I am just so grateful for women like you. And I wanted you to know that.
I'm grateful for you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm grateful for you.
We are
This has been
all in this
awesome.
together.
Thank you so much.
And
I appreciate you. Yes,
why
we
don't you
are.
let people know if there's anything that you got going on in the world right now that you want to let everybody who's on here know about Chanel. If you want people to follow you, whatever it is, take this opportunity to put that out there before we wrap things up. And
Absolutely. So my nonprofit organization has been picked up by Martha's Table. They are showing me the way. Yes, they are. MT, yes, yes. So today I had a conference call with Martha's Table. I want to do a prom dress and prom suit giveaway,
oh,
but we're going to do a fashion show. So I'm going to need, so what my thought process is, I have all these ball gowns and things of that nature that you only get to wear one time
right.
because people already saw you in
But
it, right? I don't know, that's
yeah, but
stupid,
it's just
but we
what we
do it,
do.
right? Um, it's just what we do. But what if we took those gowns and suits that we only wore one time and give it to some people that need it. So
Let's
I
do
will
it.
be asking for donations. I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it big, and I want to do it for these young people in Ward 7 and 8 that are already living below the poverty line. And we just want to help them make sure that they can get to their next level without all that
Oh my
stress
gosh.
of prom season.
Count me in,
That's
whatever you
next for
need. I
me.
got some stuff in here too that I've only worn once.
Yes,
Count me in if you need help with the young ladies or whatever it is. Count me in. Trauma to
yes.
Triumph, Spotlight Over the City. I don't know if you've had an
Thank
opportunity to check out my
you.
husband's. Well, I'm the co-host of Spotlight Over the City. And however
Yes,
that might can help the what you just said. That platform is huge.
yes.
So you let me know, Chanel, and we
Awesome.
are more than willing to help.
Thank you. I will be
Yeah,
reaching out to you, and I appreciate
let's
that.
do it.
I appreciate that. So,
Do it.
so yeah, so that's where I am. So thank you so much. I
Thank
almost
you.
really like, but thank you
And for
so
any of
much.
you
This
who
was
are watching,
awesome.
if you have a story of life trauma that you'd love to share on this platform, please submit your story on my website. It's www.trauma2Triumph.com. You can also email me your story directly at info@trauma2Triumph.com. You can DM me. You can, let's see, those are the three ways: email, DM, or you can go directly on the website. If you want to make a donation, small, large, any type of donation, everything is appreciated. You can do that directly on the website, and I've also put that information in the notes in the comments on this live feed. We will post this on Instagram as well as on the YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the Trauma to Triumph YouTube channel. We're going to be expanding the content, and we're going to really take this thing and make it global. So let's really, really be in this together, and let's change the lives of many through the sharing of our stories. Thank you so much, Chanel. And the rest of y'all for tuning in
Thank
tonight to
you.
another
Thanks.
episode of Trauma to Triumph Tuesdays. Next week, we've got another amazing story already lined up and planned for y'all. I can't wait. So thank y'all. Y'all have a
Thank
good
you. Good
night. And
night.
Chanel, we'll be
Thank you
talking,
so much.
okay? Okay.
Yes, I'll
Bye-bye.
keep in touch.
Thank you so much. Good
Thank
night.
you.